and you just take from the haves. They just want, hey, let's just steal from those. I mean, that's, that what socialism amounts to in this day and age. That's what communism amounts to. It's not egalitarian. I mean, I understand that a lot of people that really believe this stuff, a lot of them are good, decent people. They think they're the egalitarians. They think they're the working man's, leader, and they think they're the blue collar, guy, the socialist and all this, and it's just not true. I mean, you can't show me an example of where it's worked. So we know it doesn't work. And I understand what's turned a lot of people communists and socialists. It's crony capitalism, which is the diametric opposite, okay, the exact opposite of true capitalism. And the crony capitalists know that. Okay, and the only thing capitalist about crony capitalism is the word. Okay, other than that, it is antithetical. It is, they might as well call anti-capitalism. That's what crony capitalism is. Because why? It produces opposite results. While true capitalism produces a rising tide of prosperity that lifts all boats, doesn't allow any to be swamped. Okay, heals the weak links in the chain of humanity. So those boats that are subject to swamping, okay, those are made to make sure they're fixed. So they're not going to sink. Made to feel safe and secure and free. Okay, to float. That's it, to float. Free to float. Secure that they're not going to sink. And the same with the links in the chain. They're made hardened, so they're not going to break any quicker than the strong links. Okay, we're in this thing together. We're of equal value to our Creator, and that's all you need to understand about equality. Just attribute it to freedom. That's it. It correlated with freedom. That's what it means. Universal prosperity means universal freedom. To withhold freedom from another, what do you think you're going to get from your owner? What do you think you're going to be found? You think you're going to be free? You think you're going to live free? You're going to have a pseudo sense of freedom, a pseudo sense of happiness. Okay? You're not going to be. He's not going to let you have a conscience. It's a failsafe. It's a default. And if you defy it, you'll be defied. That's it. You're nobody. You're nobody as substance that's going to be able to stand before your owner, the Almighty Creator God. This immigration thing, we had a farmer locally. He started crocodile tearing about all the poor immigrants and how his farm's going to fall apart and how he's such a great employer. But he needs all the, like 70% of his workforce illegal. How bad it is for the economy and his personal business. And these poor workers who need to send money home and, all this stuff. And, live under the radar. And right there openly just saying, this is how I run my business here in California. And if I couldn't do it this way, and he was crying. He was literally like, I didn't see any actual tears, but he was crying on TV. And it was pretty repulsive, I got to tell you, straight up. I wanted to kind of slap him into coherence. I mean, the man was a blithering idiot. But, poor guy. But yeah, we need worker protection. Of course we do. We need public protection. We need fairness to those that immigrate here legally. It's not fair to them. They didn't, sign on to jump through all the hoops to come to a country where other people got to fly under the radar. They didn't have to jump under the same. They got treated with kid gloves and special treatment because they decided to skirt the law. So they were rewarded thusly. No, I mean, they didn't immigrate here for that. So we need rules that are adhered to by everybody. Or we don't have a nation. So albeit America might be a nation of immigrants, immigrants might have built it, like my own immigrants on my side of my family, okay, and myself, okay, but, okay, they did it legally. They did it by the book. And these rules have to change as history changes. We're in a different era, a different time. And we need to change the rules with the times too. Okay, so while the Statue of Liberty and what it says may have held true at that time, at that period in history. It doesn't hold true. People got to fix their own damn problems. You notice how the mainstream media never puts a focus on these nations where you have this excess immigration? They never say, what the hell is wrong with the leadership of Mexico, for example? What are you, a bunch of blithering idiots? Are you evil? I just want to sit around on your butts? Okay? You're a bunch of miserable miscreants. And you're all on your highway to hell. Do you hear the mainstream media talking about them like that? Do you hear any preachers talking to them about like that? Humiliating them. That's why I call Trump's wall between Mexico and America the wall of humiliation. Yeah, that's what I think we ought to talk about it as. And I think it ought to be a solar wall that can tilt. Because someday when God does the healing of the nations, we're not going to need it. Okay, because I do believe the Bible, every word of the Bible. And I believe in the healing of the nations that God has planned. So that day is coming. Get ready for it. In the meantime, we need rules that are adhered to equally across the board. And we need to humiliate these countries and tell them to fix your own damn problems. Okay, we got our own damn problems to fix. We got Native American sons and daughters dying out in the cold every day of the week. And it sickens me. And God seems to be the only one that really understands me. Because I don't understand how anybody can contend with that kind of guilt, that kind of compunction that I feel when I go to bed at night. I go, my God, okay, we neglect human beings, Native Americans. We treat them worse with less regard than the animals. We tell people to bring in their pets at night. For God's sake, what is wrong with us? God help America. God, let us see how far we've fallen. Help make America great again. Bind the wound on our collective body. Don't let another person die out in the cold. It pisses me off. Really pisses me off. People better get it, man. You want to know what God's mad about? Okay, put two and two together. Wake up and smell the coffee. Don't act stupid. Okay, because that's all you're doing at this point. You're pretending. You're a faker. You're nobody. You got no substance. You people think there's a rhyme and a reason. Well, if you do the right skill, you got the right talent. You're going to make a lot of money. I mean, look at all these nonsensical, unproductive jobs that pay millions upon millions. Look at all the comedians. I'm not saying I don't value comedians. That's not the point I'm trying to make here. I'm just pointing out how stupid it is. Okay? All those super imperative jobs to society, all these carpenters aren't even paid a living wage. You understand? They can't afford to be a middle class homeowner. Not in California, they sure as hell can't. The contractor might, but the 15 guys working for him sure as hell can't. And a lot of subcontractors, unless they're really lucky and advertise a lot and are very successful, aggressive, I should say, they're not going to be able to enter the middle class either. Do you understand? But we're going to pay these comedians and actors and these singers and rappers and all these people are doing these totally unimportant jobs. In the scheme of things, they're utterly unimportant. Who can deny that? So you show me the logic, the rhyme and the reason, how this all makes sense, how this is just normal capitalism, and how do you think this is not going to turn people's stomachs and turn them into commies and socialists? Anything. It's got capitalists defending this. I hear Alex Jones want to defend this system, best house in a bad neighborhood and all this crap. I say, all right, I agree with that. I'll go that far. I'll give you that. What the hell does that really say, though? Okay, when you look at what I just told you about, go back 55 years ago to the buying power of a minimum wage job and look at it today. Okay, and you're going to defend this as capitalism? Bull, man. I call shenanigans on that. That's bull. That's a lie, dude. That shows idiocy, which I know Alex Jones is not. That shows untruthfulness, which I really do not want to believe about Alex Jones. Okay? Or it shows evil. And I don't want to believe that either. Or some combination. Or maybe it's happening on a semi-conscious, subconscious level. I don't know what the hell's going on. But don't try to defend what's going on in this country in the last 55 years since the assassination of JFK as capitalism. That's bull crap. It's not capitalism. Freaking barely a semblance of it. Okay, it's a smoldering wick at this point, man. It's dead. We need a reset of economic reality. You want true capitalism, you better be real and you better be honest. Okay, you better be ready for what may come. And that means a rising tide across the board. And are we going to do it by rising wages? No. No. It's going to be done gradually through a decrease in the cost of living. Deflation, that's right. And a lot of people are going to piss and grunt and moan and cry about it. Yeah, but I was benefiting. I was a part of that side of the equation, and the higher cost of living was benefiting me. And you're mean. You're anti-capitalistic, and you don't care about what happens to me. I want to say, suck it up, pissant. I don't know what to tell. I'm sorry, it sounds unchristian. I don't know what to say. All I know is you better be ready for God's will to be done on earth as it is in heaven. Because one way or another, sooner or later, even if Trump fails, that's what's coming. The captives will be set free. Make no mistake about it. This guy, Adam Schiff, they're making a lot of jokes about this guy, but this clear is definitely an enemy of the state, enemy of America. Okay, this guy is a domestic enemy. This guy needs to go to jail. As far as I can tell, this guy is guilty as the day is long. And I don't like him. I think he's an un-American creep. That's what I think about Adam Schiff. Or where this guy, the woodwork this guy climbed from under to infamy, I don't know. But I find him repellent. I don't like him. Something stinks, man. I have a nose for these things. I don't like that, man. He needs to get on his face for God's change me. Do something, man, because you got some big fat demon just, lounging around in you, Bubba. And you better ask God for your help, because maybe you need an exorcist or something. This Florida shooter, this guy was obviously a mental case. I've already talked in depth about that already. But, yeah, I don't have much to say about this. But our love is waxing cold, and this is not a good sign. Regarding the mainstream media and deception in the 21st century, practice makes perfect, right? We've all heard that. Practice something enough and you get perfect at it. That's the mainstream media. I'm going on to a few thoughts from the past couple of weeks, and that was one of them. Feel free to defy either political party, but don't dare defy the Chamber of Communists, for that would be sacrilege, since money is their god. When trying to win others over to our understanding of important issues, we can either focus on being, quote, right, or on being effective. And I suggest our priority must be on affecting permanent positive evolution toward universal absolute freedom for all through the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. That's it. I mean, we want to be effective. You see, we want to be happy. In order to be happy, okay, you can't keep happiness unless you're willing to give it away. You stumble upon a truth, and everybody's got to know that. I mean, I can't just stumble on the fact that I need to be financially free in order to be absolutely free and keep that to myself. No. You need to share that with him and her and everybody else. And you have to adhere to it in your heart, soul, spirit, and your mind. You have to grow and spread that truth. That's how you grow. And that's how you free yourself more and more. The more you make other people free and empower them and say, no, understand this is true. This is logical and reasonable. It's not radical. It's only radical sounding because you've been trained and inculcated and indoctrinated and brainwashed to believe that. You conditioned and programmed to believing that's weird and strange and off the wall and radical. But if God had his way, since we're all God's children, then yes, prosperity from birth is not at all in any way unreasonable. This is the way to happiness, folks. That's what I want. At the end of the day, you want to be truly happy. You don't want to, whoops, I thought I was happy, and wow, I didn't know I wasn't walking with God. I wasn't right with Him. I love the things of this world more than I love God. That was the light within me was darkness. See, this is the risk. See, that is, when Jesus said that, I mean, that was a, man, that was a statement from heaven. Make sure, make certain the light within us is not actually darkness. And this all was in relation to money.